It's the official takeover of Talk Shit with P. It's your girl, Cola be talking shit with P. I love talking shit, just shit. It happens to be a specialty of mine, so it's a good time. No shit was missed. Drinks was drinked. Drinked. And everybody's winning. Feel me? I'm just talking to the audience.
No, that's fine.
It's a Thursday night.
Hi, shit talkers. Welcome to Talk Shit with P. And I am your host, Paula, the shit talker.
Shit talking, always rocking. Shit talkers, come on and drop in. Shit talk is always shocking. Talking shit with P, yeah.
I mean, don't we all like talking shit anyways? Talk Shit with P is the podcast for you.
Talking shit with P, yeah.
Can I have my glasses? They're purple shades over.
Oh, I love it. Yes. It's just coming in hot, you know? Future's so bright, you gotta wear shades.
I'm blind to you, haters.
Right.
Cheers. Going on high. Hey.
Hello.
Talk Shit with P.
Talking big shit, I'm ready. I got my shades on because, child, you was just bright, blinding me.
Today has been a day, y'all. I recorded with that incredible Mark. And then me, Mark, and Carla got to have lunch together. And
Lunch.
I'm trying to do those more things. And I want to shout out Walter because
Hey, Walter.
the
Great Walt.
great Walt, he brought this idea of let's get back to just meeting people and hanging out without just it being an event or a planned land. Like,
Yes.
just to be, I feel like we're so accustomed that whenever we meet, it has to be a podcast meetup or a podcast conference or event or whatever. So, last week he invited me to Porkball, and I told him never to do that again because I don't like healthy. And if you're going to invite me to a place, at least make sure they have alcohol. I'm sorry. I literally
Reasonable.
but the highlight was meeting Hannah. Hi, Hannah. And me and Tamara went across the street while they were eating their healthy shit to the bar, and we were drinking, and then we caught up with them after their lunch and after a few bars. Good thing they allowed me to. It was an open container square. So I was walking around with my beer, and we hanged out, and they walked with me until to my next place. Like it was just nice not being an event or anything. Okay, I'm rambling now. Anyways, here we are. Season 10. We're loving it. When is your anniversary?
November 19th. Look at that.
Yeah.
Good. Drop it on the anniversary.
Yeah.
Drop it on. Sorry.
Drop it out. It's anniversary, baby. So we're gonna jump into that since this episode is gonna come like a week before your anniversary. So we're gonna shift this a little bit around. Let's just jump straight into that.
Sure.
How many years are you celebrating, and what does this particular anniversary mean to you? Apart from you met the gorgeous me, of course.
Yeah. Game changer. I got you. I love the organic nature. I love that I get to be here with you. Year 6. 6 years. I am just a few weeks short of 6 years being officially in publication. That's big. That's really big. Cheers to that. We're going to be toasting quite a bit on this here.
6 years. So, what does 6 years of you doing this means to you? Or what does this anniversary mean to you?
OMG. It means growth. It means scale. It means gratitude for having been able to do anything for this long. I've never done anything for 6 years. I've never, have you met me? Like, what?
What's the longest shift you've ever done?
Gosh. I would say, so in my former life, I was a truck driver, and I did do that for about 6-ish years, but not 6 consecutive years back to back.
Like on and off.
Yeah. I mean, outside of that, I got kids and, you know, I've been taking care of them for more than 6 years because the oldest is 19. Then we got 13 and 11.
Wait, you have a 19-year-old?
Child. I know I don't look it, but indeed she does.
Okay.
Yes.
So speaking about that, you say this being your longest, right? Now, because I'm just nosy and because we're on talk show with me. So
I'm ready.
what has been your longest relationship?
Oh, we talking shit like that.
I mean,
Okay,
you're the one who said you've never done something this way. If you wouldn't have brought it up, I wouldn't have asked.
Questioning.
Yeah.
My longest relationship was my marriage. I was married for about 8 years, I want to say. And let's just say 8 because I don't feel like doing math. Yeah. It happened. It's done, though. I got divorced on Zoom. That's my favorite. Fun fact.
Was it in coffee?
It was.
I mean, at least you're not those people who go married at Zoom. I feel like being divorced on Zoom is much better. Like, I don't even want to see you, my nigga. Like,
No shade.
go. Like, what is?
No shade to the girls that been married on Zoom. Congratulations on your nuptials.
Do whatever makes you
Yes,
happy.
whatever. Cheers to you and that person that you done eloped. Is that eloping?
No, that's just making it happen.
Eloping.
No, I feel like eloping is you choosing, but when it's happening because you have no option, it's not eloping. Because if I decide today to wake up and be like, I'm pulling everybody on Zoom and doing it, that's me eloping. Or I'm going to the courthouse. But then if circumstances are making you do that, it was not your first choice, but circumstances, it's technically not eloping.
Okay. Well, I was divorced on Zoom. And I actually, that took place after I had gotten into the podcast, but the relationship ended right before I launched my podcast for real, like less than 30 days before. So that was very helpful for me in being able to change my energy expenditure. So now it's, instead of me being focused on being a wife, I could take the wife energy into the podcasting. So that's what I did.
I love that. You replaced the husband of the podcast instead of making space for that podcast. Yeah.
We go together real bad.
Yeah. So I'm curious, right? When you divorce on Zoom, do you have like a lawyer present?
Yes.
For the signing?
Yes, they were at the courthouse. They were in one state and I was not able to make it to that state. So I was just like, you know, everybody's doing everything on Zoom. So let's just get this over with.
I mean,
literally.
This is random and obviously not the same, but you remember that guy who had a traffic ticket, whatever, and he had to appear on court via Zoom in his car, and then his license was suspended, but he was driving. And
all kind of crazy stuff with people doing stuff on Zoom court. Like the one lady, she was like smoking a blunt or something, and she was trying to do like this, like legit, like y'all looking at me, y'all the judge, and then here she go like this. You could tell I'm smoking. You could see the smoke. I wish we were smoking right now, in fact, but I digress.
Like people were doing. I feel like the only part I missed about COVID is seeing this virtual shit backfire because people were not, most people are not used to doing things online because they are used to just being on the phone. So nobody's seeing shit, right? Where people would get up and they have boxes they forgot because they're just,
people are still got a porn tab open, just doing.
But that guy, I'm like, you have one job. Just stay on park, get the judge to whatever, and go on. Now you're going all the way to jail.
Even been in the car. Like, I don't even want the judge to know that I have access to a car that I can drive. Are you crazy? He deserved whatever he got. That was dumb, sir. If you're watching this,
Oh,
shame on you.
now I need to go and find out what happened because I don't think we have paid
Yeah, what's the
attention to
update?
it. I know, right? Because
Mm.
when life went back to normal, what is it really been normal? Because every day is
No.
something. But when life, I feel like nothing has been normal since 2020.
No, it wasn't even really normal then. But now it's just like, I don't know what this is, but it ain't normal.
2020 are walking a lot of shit. And I feel like maybe we need it. You need to wash away all your sins and reborn spiritual. Yeah. Like, because the whole planet is going through a spiritual cleanse. Cleanse was the word. I mean, when we're talking about cleansing, we're also talking about growth, rebranding, pivoting. Because when you're cleansing yourself, you are, again, as I say, either you are seeing the person who you are, and then you're realizing this is not the person who I want to be, so I'm going to make changes. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to redirect. Because again, depending on the information or the journey you are in, right?
Right.
So with you and Black in the Garden and 6 years coming up, I know from since I met you, we have spoken on different ideas that you have brought to me and different connections you are looking to make and changes that you're making. How do you see the past 6 years of Black in Garden have been, and what do you like? What growth has come up of it for you as an individual, not for your podcast, not for you, but you as a person?
Ooh, what growth? This is a great question. Asking me, who is, the plant lady, the Black in the Garden, plant podcast lady who just, is very concerned about the Blacks getting in the soil. So as far as my growth,
We come from the soil.
it's like, it's hard for me to talk about my growth without talking about how my work has influenced my growth. Because learning as much as I've learned over the past 6 years, let's say entrepreneurship for one, I didn't realize that starting this show would get me more aligned with entrepreneurship. And the thing that I learned quickly about entrepreneurship, come on now. The thing I learned quickly about entrepreneurship is it's a personal / professional development journey. If you go to school for it, which I did not, then I can imagine it is an experience where, you're applying the things that you've learned. But if you didn't go to school for it and you don't come from a family culture that is, entrepreneurial, then you are really just figuring things out for yourself. And it's been quite a journey. So what I can say about my growth, having said all of that, is that it has been rapid. It has been expansive. It has been consistent. I am still growing. There have been times over the past couple years where I'm like, I can feel growth. And I'm talking about like this personal development, spiritual type of growth is what I'm feeling. And it is very exciting, but it is also, it can be frustrating. I have felt crazy a lot. The more that I get to understand certain things about myself, like most recently, having a touch of what I call like neurospiciness, a little neurodivergence, just a combination of a few letters, maybe like ADHD. But yeah, child, the growth, the more things that I learn specifically about myself, the better I understand myself. Because in learning more about neurodivergence through the lens of, well, maybe you got a little bit of it, girl. How is this? How can you, with that understand so much more about not just yourself, but how you're operating in the world and how you're operating in relationships? It has been a game changer for me. So yeah, the growth has been, it's been very real.
I love that. And you're so right. As a person who advocates for mental health and talk a lot about mental health, I've told people that we all deal with mental health. It's just that it takes a specific event or moment or time issue for it to actually come out. You might think you don't have mental issues until you end up doing something you never thought or whatever, or be in a space you never, and then next thing you know, you're getting panic attacks or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it comes out at the time when it really is. And that's why I say we all have mental struggles. Some are just waiting for them to come out. But also speaking of growth and entrepreneurship, that's how I feel about my podcast. Growing up, I always knew I wanted to work in events. I didn't care about owning my own shit, but I was very big about owning a t-shirt line because I loved t-shirts. I loved weird t-shirts, and most of the time when you see me out, I'm wearing t-shirts. Like if I'm actually wearing unless I'm wearing a dress or something. Like, and shout out to Ripson. We love Team Ripson, but I'm always on t-shirt. Like my closet, I have a whole stack down there that is just
T-shirts.
I've always been a t-shirt girl, but when I started my podcast, it was just a boredom thing during COVID, right? Something to help me with my mental health. And now, that's why when sometimes people ask me, are you making money from your podcast? I'm like, no, but it's more than money. Like the opportunities, the people, the strength and growth in myself. I don't think I would have gotten it if I would have continued being in retail or actually did events and just being a corporate ladder, because I never thought about owning my own business, getting entrepreneurship. And that shit is hard. I don't know why people keep telling people, you should be your own boss. Like,
It's pros and cons.
the freedom of it is amazing. But the making sure you get a check and money, that's a whole other thing. But you really, and I didn't know, again, I come from a world, yes, I do have people in the entrepreneurship world, but it wasn't like the first thing. My parents didn't care what we did as long as we did something, which I'm grateful, and we went to school. As long as
go to school and get the F out of my house.
Like, and some of us are lucky to have that where we can still go back home.
You're lucky if you can still go back
Exactly.
home. I ain't going.
So if you do have that, I'm not saying go back home, but I'm saying you should be feeling privileged if you can. Because I was talking to a lady.
Be grateful.
I met in PRX, and the reason she was able to grow a TikTok and now she makes a lot of money is because she moved back home and her parents told her, we'll support you for a year if this doesn't work for a year. And that gave her enough time to really be like, okay, if I'm not worrying about anything, I can grind and make, and now she makes almost 5, 6 to whatever a month on TikTok. So for those who have that, be glad. But all to say is the growth that I've seen to be able to speak on stages. I'm shy. I hated doing presentations in school. Now imagine I'm speaking on stages where people are listening to me.
Too.
Yeah.
Be all right.
You know, and also, shout out to Dominic Lawson. He said something to me after that panel because he has seen me moderate. My first panel I moderated was in Afros and Audios. Not last year, the year before. Because last year I was in a panel I didn't moderate, but the year before, which was my first Afros, and my teammates who didn't even know me, we were meeting on Zoom. We met twice on Zoom to plan it. Had full energy, like you can moderate, go ahead. And so Dominic was in the first seat in that. And to see me also in PRX was like, yo, Paula, I see the growth from there to now. And to hear somebody, because sometimes we don't see our own growth. And I think that's why it's good to be in these communities and going to these conferences, because the people who are watching you, who met you, probably saw you last year at this conference, and now they're seeing you and they've been following you. They'll be quick to tell you, I've been following you, doing amazing. Because sometimes when you are in that, because things are not making sense or moving, you don't feel it. Like, you feel like I'm still behind. Yes.
I deal with that pretty much every day. And that is a big part of the reason why I am so keen to make sure that I'm plugged into and actively engaged in community, especially the podcast community. It's a very supportive community. And the alternative is isolation. Outside of like having friends and having supportive people. But that has been very important to my growth because like I'll put it like this, having the standards that I have means that when I've done something, when it's done, I am so done with it. And it's not something that I'm considering is like, oh, that was amazing. It's very much like, what am I doing next? Not like, how do I do better, but just what am I doing
You feel like
next?
you're gonna keep moving forward.
It's just, it's not, and it's not coming from a place of where I'm like, I got to outdo myself or I got to outdo anybody else. I don't operate in a way that is competitive, but it is just very much me being, I use this term, I think I came up with this term, hyper creative. I always want to be making some shit up. I'm always trying to do something like I come up with ideas very quickly, very easily. And so when I say I'm just ready to get to the next thing, it's because there are so many ideas that I want. They're like bubbles. And I know you'll love this analogy. Bubbles in the champagne glass. All the bubbles want to come to the top. They all want to come to the top. And that's how my ideas feel. And so once one bubble gets to the top, the other bubbles are like, hey, when do we get to go to the top? So that's why I feel overwhelmed a lot. And I got to work on that, to be honest, in real time. That's something I got to work on. And it's like, it's never enough.
And I feel it because I'm like you. And that's why I feel like my biggest shit is I watch a lot of trash TV. And when I watch trash TV, a lot of people laugh at me, but it's really research. Because you will hear the women, either the things they're fighting about, arguing, or the conversations they're having, or the parties they're throwing. They will give me ideas myself, like, this is a conversation I should have with my girlfriend. This is a conversation I should bring this person and we do a live. Oh my God, I should throw this type of event to be like,
Yeah.
So I get, and then all these ideas are coming, and then now I'm like, I start getting up, like, and that's why I also watch them when I'm depressed. It builds up my creativity. Because next thing you know, I'm getting out of my bed, building a notebook, and I'm reaching out to people. Yo, are you free this weekend? We should go on live and have this conversation.
Free this weekend.
Yes.
I want to tell you how I feel about trash TV, but I won't let you finish.
Yeah. So from that, I end up coming with so many ideas. And Joe one time told me, I was like, it's good to always have ideas, but if you're constantly doing things and you're not letting them marinate and grow, you're just going to be that person who's just doing shit. So
strategy.
He was like, Paula, you're a person who deals with people and whatever. You can do whatever you want, but bring these ideas, write them down, see how they connect each other. Then from the ones that really connect, pick those, and then let the other ones grow through that. That way you are building, and instead of just making.
I love that you say that because
yes, Joe from Mopad, he told me that in episode 2, we talked about it on episode 2 because he was talking about me that in Chicago earlier, and he told me that. I was like, you know what? It does make sense because I have all this stuff I'm doing, but now instead of making them separate, build it under one house. And and that's why Talk Shit with P, I say we are being done for now, but not forever. We are taking a break.
Taking a break to figure out how to make it make sense.
For the next of 2026, because we're going to be building Rap Shit with P. That way, when Talk Shit with P comes back, I have figured out how to bring Rap Shit with P in, and then we continue building the yeah. So
I like that. So I didn't forget about the trash TV, but to that point, I will say, because I have so many ideas and sometimes they don't seem to be related to what I already have in motion, I take my time to find a way to plug it into what's already happening. So what's happened over this past year and change with the Black in the Garden podcast has been exploring some really fun subject matters, some fun topics. One of the episodes that we did that I'm particularly proud of was single plant parents. And single plant parents, I knew when I started thinking about how to promote the episode that it should be an event. So we just recently
and I love that
had that event.
And I love that because I was watching the stories and now it was like, it kind of felt like you're going for a date, like a dating, but like, I'm looking for
a plant parent, a plant co-parent.
Like it was just the branding that,
yes.
And Shout out to Hannah and Walter for showing up for that one.
Shout out to them.
Especially we did tell them on Wednesday.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about you as well. From when I met you, everything you show up, which I want to get into that. But before we get into that, I want you to finish your thought on that, on your plant-based and then your trash TV, because we're going to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, well, that was primarily it. It was just knowing that when I have all these ideas, the best that I can do for now, while I'm still operating out of a very specific niche, which is at the intersection of Black culture and horticulture, anything having to do with plants and Black people and nature, or however I can make that work, that is how I'm making the things make sense to the niche that I'm currently serving. But I go by Cola Be Talking, and that was always intentional because I knew from way back when I was in college and I was trying to figure out, like, how am I not going to flunk out? I had to determine, what is your top skill set? What are you the best at, that you feel the most natural at, and that you know that you're good at, and that you can also say that other people can see it too. And that was talking. It was just the ability to communicate well and effectively. So there's that. But as far as the trash TV goes, girl, I don't watch anything passively either. So I appreciate that you're saying that you're watching anything that most people would associate specifically with entertainment. They would just watch it and they would just be mindlessly entertained, which is what I do. And that's the point that I'm going to get to. But what I tell my kids all the time is, when I'm watching TV, documentaries, TV shows, whatever type of TV programming or even movies that it may be, I'm not watching passively because I'm always categorizing information. So anything that I'm picking up on, I like watching shows where there's like a different culture outside of mine that's represented, because then I'm able to get a little better of a worldview, stuff like that. I like watching documentaries because, that's basically kind of like it's like a picture book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I like information in books. Don't always want to read, but that doesn't mean I don't like reading. But my point being, what the first thing I thought of when you said trash TV is, for my mental health, what I've realized very recently is, because I'm constantly making decisions as an entrepreneur who is also a content creator, and I know that term is a little, I wear a lot of hats that are like very big hats.
I think decisions come from being a mom, because you are taking care of humans, and then everything flows after that.
It's a big responsibility, and it's so big that I can't really afford to have the weight of that always be felt on me. But that goes to the point that I was going to make, which is very simple. Sometimes I need trash TV just to zone out. Mm-hmm. I remember, because when I'm sitting down or when I get in my bed after hours and I'm trying to determine, how do I unwind? I always want to learn. YouTube is my favorite. I watch YouTube more than I watch Netflix or Hulu. I truly do, because I like the way that information is more organic there. I like the way that the information is very niche. You can find very specific things. You can find things that can help you in your self-discovery, in your learning. There's a lot of documentaries. I'm not going to try to shout out too many people, but I do want to shout out Intellectual with an X, because she is outstanding. She was recently named as Time Creator of the Year. And she is a Black woman who emphasizes Black lady stuff, especially history through the lens of Black womanhood. So I want to give a big shout out to her, but her content is so information rich. I would watch her all day, for real. But I can't be trying to learn all the time. So I realized, I need trash. I need mindless TV. And that's how I came to the conclusion that trash TV is helpful for that. It's kind of a little bit of escapism. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm on YouTube, I'm going to be trying to learn something or trying to listen to some music. So I have to go off of YouTube. And what I have been, I keep up with comedy podcasts. So I love The Read. That was very influential to starting my platform.
I love The Read. It's the only podcast I have watched. I have the songs. I went
You got the socks too? I have the socks. I have the do-rag. I have the bonnet. I have several shirts.
And I recently, if you watch my stories right now, I just posted.
Now, you know this ain't gonna come out.
I know. I'm sorry, but maybe I will repost it when this comes out.
Yes.
But I literally, let me show you since you're here. Let's look at it. Let me show you something. So I was dressed this.
Wait.
This
17?
was 2017 October.
Look at you.
I know, because the hair.
You went to their live show?
Da, 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 da,
Was that 2017?
da, 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 da. It was the
I think I went to hear
2017.
OMG. Now I gotta
Okay.
show you because I've been to their last two live shows.
In case I might not be able to.
Are we going in February?
They're coming to Atlanta in February?
No, they always do an anniversary show in February
Where?
in New York. I've been going the last 2 years.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, so shout out to the OGs, the Read, you know, in the category of Black urban podcasts. They definitely have been pioneers. But I'm just saying all that to say that I know when I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is the TV that is, or not the TV, but like the entertainment that is going to allow me to actually turn my brain off a little bit. It is comedy, you know, just joy. Because sometimes we just need to have a good time just for the sake of having a good time. But I look at Workaholics. It's so stupid. I don't know if you've ever seen Workaholics. Ooh, that show is properly done. And I love it when I just need to look at something stupid.
But that's why also I'm not a big movie fan, but shows like even sometimes when I can't find a good show, my shows are out, I'll go back to the Gilmore Girls or
and comfort TV.
Yeah,
That's like eating French fries.
exactly. Even when back in the days, reality TV was just for me to tune out. It was until I started my podcast where I started seeing reality TV like at 2, even though it's still entertaining. And I mean, if you look at how many Real Housewives branches are there, Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, all this.
Love is blind, love is nearsighted.
And it also teaches me on the type of love I also want, like it's entertaining. It takes me out of my depression because now I start laughing at shit. And then I'm like, damn, these grown-ass women are fighting about this. Clearly, I cannot have problems because some of them are going to jail. I should be happy. I mean, but it also, like, it's all a mixture in one. And that's why I'm like, I'm always going to choose shows over movies because a movie you have 1 hour, 2 hour, you're done. And then I have
to spend for movies like I used to.
Me too. Yeah. Because I look at it like, oh, so this is 2 hours, even though it will be a movie, comedy, or love, and I'll be like, I really want to see it. But then I'm like, because even Issa Rae's movie with Keke Palmer and Caesar.
Oh, that was so cute.
I wanted to go to the cinema, but I was really like, nah. Then it came out, it's on Netflix, it's on whatever. And I have it, I've downloaded it. I still have it, like, even though I know.
We should watch it together.
Even though I know I want to.
Oh my God, we're gonna smoke and we're gonna watch.
Yeah, that way I feel like when even during COVID, the only ways I would watch movies was when Netflix had that co-watching whatever.
That was so cute.
Yeah, me and
they still have that, right?
I don't know, but me and my friends in Canada would do that. But during COVID, everybody had time. Right now, to get a time to do any time different and whatever. Exactly. But that's the sake of it. But now that we're done with trash TV, right? I was saying when we mentioned about your plant event and Walter and Hannah coming out, and I recently met you. We met in July at PRX. Shout out to PRX.
It just feel like it was way longer ago than that, but
I know, because we've been seeing each other every other day. Like she just showed, and this is the thing.
She told me to pull up, and I just pull up.
You remind me of Loyalty, because when I met Loyalty, and Loyalty is this girl, she's like, yo, Paula, if you tell me, and if I can make it, I'm coming.
I'm going up. And if I can't make it, I'll let you know I can't come.
And because Loyalty has a very, is it 6-7-year-old, and she lives at home with that. Yeah. And so she has to make sure that dad is available to watch her or somebody. So for that, because most of all the kids, they're all grown and in college and whatever. So if it wasn't for the younger one, she would be pulling up for anything. But, you still got to make sure your kid is right. But the reason why even I fuck with her, because she'll show up and she won't just hang around me. Like, she will go and do her own damn thing. Next thing, it will be an event that everybody knows me, but when I'm leaving, they'll be like, do you know about it?
Exactly.
And that's the same with her. So
Yes.
ever since I met her, you've been showing up. And that's why it was very important for me to show up for you for your birthday event in Bucket. And even bring a friend. Like, oh my God, we also got amazing candles. I ended up buying candles. I wasn't supposed to buy
it smells so good. No,
and I ran out of them real quick. Like, but I'm coming back. Saturn something. I forgot them, but there's
what you're going to do is support the other entrepreneurs, especially.
Rap Shit with P is more than just a name. It's what we do. We make visions come alive. From branding and merch to curated gifting and virtual assistant services. We help creatives, entrepreneurs, and businesses show up bigger, bolder, and better. So if you're ready to level up your vision, connect with us on IG at rapshitwithp or rapshitwithp@gmail.com. And that's WRAPSHITWITHP, rapshitwithp@gmail.com or rapshitwithp on Instagram. Rap Shit with P, where access meets energy, where passion meets execution, and where every detail gets wrapped with love and excitement. So here's to season 10, the final season of Talk Shit with P.
The one people who remembered me from Faye's event, and they think a free wine and a half a bottle.
We were at Buckhead Art Company, and that is a place that we just frequent. So I celebrated my birthday, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because it was just last
It was September. We recording this,
We're October now. Literally was. That's what I'm saying.
As far as I'm concerned, it's still September.
When you say the months, it also feels a little bit. But let's get back to the point. The point was there's power in showing up. And that's why I tell people, like, you can belong in communities, but if you're not showing up, how do you expect community to show up for you? Like, if I don't know you, if you're not supporting. So I want you in your own ways. I know you've been showing up before you met me and all the other people because I've seen how much events you go to. I think she's the business part. Like
don't do that. I am not the business.
Like when I look at her stories every day, I'm like, how much energy to go to all these events?
All my stories like that. That was just this past day.
On stage, four events.
I planned it out, and these events in space were very close together.
And
so
that's
it's easy for me to get to them. Yeah. I don't drive. So I'm a combination of Uber, train, and a little bit of walking.
And that's why sometimes I might miss events depending on my bank and distance. Because Atlanta, some of the best spots are very far off. But then when you don't drive, it's like, for driving can be 35 to 45 minutes. Now imagine if you're on a train. But when you're on a train, it's like a bus, a train, a walk, whatever. And
I'll take the train and then I'll get an Uber after the train. But
that's if your bank has. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you miss because you can't.
You got to make sure that your funds is funding. And I get that. We understand each other.
But my point. Let's get back to the point. Can we talk a little bit about the power of showing up?
Well, the power of showing up is
for you. What has that done for you?
Well, I came to understand through being engaged in so many communities, whether it was always like a lot of creative communities. And I really learned this very well from DJs. DJs are always doing stuff, and some events are free. Some events, you got to pay a little cover, and that's fine. Like you said, if the funds are funding, let's have a good time. I'm pulling up, I'm showing up. But something that I came to really appreciate in getting to know so many DJs, I could name 10 DJs right now off the top of my head.
I have a DJ at PTSD because I dated them in Malaysia and they exhausted me. So
I'm not going to say too much about close proximity that I've had with DJs because I don't want to tell that part.
But shout out to my favorite DJs, DJ Alpit, DJ Crepes, I got you.
DJ Alpit.
Boy.
awesome.
We are in the
Afros and Audios.
even Dripping in Black. We were in a retreat together. Dominic, they run
He's one of the ones that I would name.
they run the Uma group.
He's gonna be an Afros and Audios. Shout out to
Of course,
come on,
he's
together.
speaking.
Shout out to DJ LP.
He's speaking.
I know.
He's speaking with Dominic.
I know. I have a meeting with him tomorrow.
That's the only reason I was like, I was gonna go to Afro because I've never.
You haven't met him?
No, I've met him. We have met, like, we know each other so well. Because he has been to Afros and Audios. He has DJed Afros and Audios.
Of course he did.
He was supposed to come to the Detroit retreat because we did the first retreat this year, but he had a job opportunity. So, we support that.
Really
so
is
it's
that.
virtual. Even great. Like, those are, like, even great. They sometimes go to Twitch. Craig is the one who picked my picture for the new episode that Dominic interviewed me. Like, we have a group chat. Like, that's and it's one of because he talks a lot about community.
He does.
That is the neighborhood homie.
Period. That's the name of the show.
Exactly. Yeah. And one thing I liked, because I even told him, I was like, I like your realness on Threads. If you guys are not following him on Threads, you go and follow him on Threads.
Yeah.
He is the realest shit, and
he keeps it very real.
He keeps it real, but we have 4 DJ outfit over here.
Yeah, very, very team DJ.
And that would be the only reason I'd go to Outcross.
Just to get back to the point that I was making before we realized that we had that amazing person in common, who I met him in Jacksonville, by the way, because that's where he resides. And that's where I was residing for a year before. So, what was the other thing I was going to say?
And what you learned from the DJs.
What I learned from the DJs is going to events. How it works is the DJs, when you come to their events, that's better than money. When you're showing up and you're showing up consistently and supporting them as DJs, then that is just like, it's a morale boost, but it's also like a good way to lock in. For example, to a DJ's event, to a promoter's event, to just any creative, and you're showing up to their events, then it's like you're just kind of building that currency up with them. And so when you're getting ready to do yours and you're asking people to show up for you or just help you promote, then it's just kind of organically like, yeah, of course I'm gonna take care of you, because every time I look up from these turntables, I see you in the crowd. I see you not just pulling up, but I see you actually on the dance floor, like we're having a good time.
Girls, your boys, telling people about it, reposting it on social media, even if you can't come.
Yeah, so I want to give a big shout out to DJ Wally Sparks in Atlanta, because that's the DJ who I have been seeing most consistently at events, because he's just curating these really dope events that are very specifically themed. Annually, we got Twinkle and Glisten, which is Southern hip hop classics. And I grew up in the South and I love hip hop. So naturally it's a fit for me. But High Top Fade is bringing back like 90s rap and R&B, New Jack Swing specifically, it's a vibe. And so I'm pulling up to those events, and I'm also in between events, I'm asking, how can I support you?
Mm-hmm. People understand that question. Somebody recently told me, wrote a post on LinkedIn. I was like, it was kind of a dedication post to me, but like,
a dedication?
Kind of. I don't want to put all the credit on me, because I don't like the spotlight on me, because I don't do it for the credit or whatever.
There's 2 spotlights. What did you say now?
I mean, and I'm on shade.
2 spotlights on you.
What I'm saying is, they told me about the event. I told them I'm not sure if I can be able to come, but let me know how I can support you. And I help promote, I help connect them with people, future sponsors, whether it works out for this year or maybe next year, because this is their first year. So you still got to build the momentum. Some people can't do it this year, but that doesn't mean you can't build it for next year, right?
Sure.
And I feel like
it's never too early to start.
And that's the thing with networking or people showing up. People always assume that if I show up, it has to be now, but play the long game. It's always the long game. Like keep on building it, and in time. So they wrote a post, and because after I even told them about podcast movement, and then after the event, I reached out because I ended up meeting, I've known her, but we've never met in person. And her partner, I just met because she connected us. She was like, this is the guy who's also planning it. He's buying everything. So we got to meet in real life. And on the first night we closed the bar, we really didn't leave until the bar was closed, including Joe from Moped were there. We were drinking. But after that, when we came back, I messaged him and I was like, hey, now that we have rested after a week, here's my link. Please book a time so we can talk and see how far you are, and I see how I can support you. We jumped on a call, we talked, and they told me what right now they needed. I was like, I'll see what I can do. And the factor part was I sent an email to Todd that day, and the next day I found out he passed away the day before. So it was like, oh my God. But anyways, rest in peace, Todd. I know, that's my baby. But she went on and posted on LinkedIn. She was like, the power of showing up and having the right people in your corner, because even if they personally can't support you, it's the fact that they can ask you, how can I help? Like,
Wow. Yeah, and that's exactly what I just said.
That's why when you said that, I was like, it brings, because sometimes you might not be able to afford to attend, or you can't make it, or the scheduling, whatever it is. But you can always ask people, how can I help? How can I support?
It makes a difference.
After time, it could be even, hey, can you put a post? Can you collaborate on a post? Can you
just
tweet
say
it?
something.
Like,
You pass out a few flyers. Could you take some time out of your day?
Can I send you a match and you post with it? Like, it's just simple things. So we should always remember to ask the people we love and support. How can you help? Because some people are very hard at asking help, including myself. And half of the calls from after that, I tried my best because I'm intentional networking. So when I meet people in conferences, I tell them, after the conference, give me 1 week because I really need to.
Yeah, it takes a week to recover from a conference.
And especially if it's a 4-day conference, because podcast movement is 4 days.
God.
VFest was 2 days, PRS was 3 days, and at least 3 days in the afternoon.
It would be so much easier if we could just have fun at the conference and then we go home and it's just like we have fun. But that's just the beginning.
Yeah, you need to recover
so many relationships, and you know that you got to follow up.
Yeah. And I learned this a long time. The first time I went to Podfest, which was my first conference, I didn't do shit. And then when I was going back to the second year, I was like, damn, I don't want to be that person who just ends up meeting people at a conference and then doesn't talk to them until the next year. Like, yes, we follow each other on social media and like and comment, but that's not talking. That's not
relationship with
exactly. And
I didn't know that when I first started.
But so from the second professor, I was like, I want an intentional network. So from there, when I meet people, those who I really wanna move it further than just see you next year. When I come back home after a week, I'll send an email or send them, if I don't have their email, check on them on Instagram, DM or LinkedIn. Be like, hey, it was so nice to meet. When are you free to catch up and see how we can support each other? Because because in conferences, you can talk. But in that 1 hour, depending on how many people you are, you really don't know. And nobody's telling you from the straightforward, I need help with this. But then when you come back,
you don't have but a surface level of attention to give.
Yeah. But when you come back, then you make this and you really talk and you hear what people are working on and what they need help. And that's what people are telling us, like, Paula, half of the time when we let on a call, you are constantly taking what we can help. We never get the chance to even ask you. I'm like, I do that in purpose because I don't make the time for you to ask me, because half of the time I don't know what I need help with. But one thing I know is I like connecting people. I like seeing people I know are in the same niche or doing something similar and looking for that. Just end up having a conversation.
Facilitate those relationships.
It just makes me happy. And because I know when I need help, people will come help me. Not to brag, but
right. It's not bragging. It's just you understand. That's part of the strategy. It's not that you're doing it because you're trying to benefit. You naturally do care about connecting people.
I do.
But you understand that the benefit that naturally comes along with that is people helping you reciprocally.
Exactly.
It's a circle.
Stay tuned for part 2, coming to you on Friday. Don't forget to check it out.